Party! 10 years, huh? I really cannot believe it's been that long. It really seems like only yesterday that I was playing FNAF 2 on my bed as a wee little 9-year-old and got jump scared by Toy Chica and was subsequently unable to go to sleep for over an hour because I was worried she was going to walk in my bedroom and stab me. Good times. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Static. I've been animating FNAF for about 4 years now, and it's been the best years of my life. After getting my start in FNAF, I've grown to a point where I'm now going to college at my dream school for visual effects next month. I'm moving across the country, starting my life practically anew, all because of this franchise. But the effects to FNAF do not just go to me. FNAF is a cultural phenomenon, and by all accounts, it's a franchise that shouldn't exist. Everything was stacked against it, and yet, well, I think its presence online speaks for itself. So this video is my way of paying homage to a franchise that changed my life forever. Happy birthday, FNAF. Let's get into it. Five Nights at Freddy's 1 released on August 8th of 2014, a year in which I was at the ripe old age of 9 years old. To be completely honest, I wasn't really into it when it first came out. I was kind of at that period where I was just now discovering that real video games existed, but after a while, as it grew in popularity, as the second, third, fourth game came out, I knew I had to try it. The talk of the town, you know? Freddy and his spooky bear gang were all the internet could talk about. So I picked up my phone and I played a couple games of FNAF 2. And I still have a clear as day memory of me laying on my bed as a quirky little 10-year-old and playing FNAF 2 and getting jump scared by Toy Chica. I still remember the gut-wrenching fear that took hold of me when that chicken jump scared me, to the point where I was unable to go to sleep because I was staring at my door expecting her to walk through and stab me. Not the most logical of fear, but that was the point. This game was really my introduction to the horror genre, which is crazy, right? After decades of humanity creating iconic horror movie villains and terrifying ghost stories, you'd think that after all this time, I would have had some sort of semblance of horror. No. When I was a child, FNAF was horror for me. The spooky jump scares, the goofy characters, that was it, and it worked. Something about the simplicity of having to manage certain things, being sure to keep up certain values and maintain certain things going on at the same time, and being such a micromanaging multitasker like myself, the game felt like it was both made to humor me and made to torture me. To me, the real horror came from not just the jump scares, but from the fact that I physically could not do everything right at the same time. And that was my relationship with the game. For a long time, I didn't even have a gaming computer at this point. I was playing it on my iPhone, 6, 7 probably? Playing it with my sister, playing it with my friends. It was iconic. But you know, as a lot of your 10-year-old obsessions do, I eventually weaned out of the franchise, and it became a fond, nostalgic memory for me to look back on all of the lore that I had memorized and all of the secrets I had uncovered. It was a fond childhood memory. That was until 4 years ago. For those of you who lived under a rock for the past decade and had no other contact with humanity, there was this quirky little thing that happened in 2020 called a lockdown. I don't know if you're familiar, but after being this quirky little video game nerd who was constantly trying to be social with people, I was locked in my house for over a year. It didn't exactly take a good toll on my mental health. And after a while of sitting down and playing probably Destiny 2 or something, and just nonsensically wasting the days away, just ticking down an unrecognizably long clock, I knew something had to change. I knew that I needed some sort of creative output, some sort of something. I couldn't just sit here, right? I couldn't just sit around and not do anything. Like, I needed something to take my mind away that wasn't just mindless brain slop. I had never fully left the FNAF community, I had just kind of not been as into it. I watched FNAF SFM, I listened to some FNAF songs, but it wasn't like I wasn't like committed. It was just like another one of many fandoms that I considered myself kind of a part of. This is when I had an idea. I still remember the exact video that did it. It was Sarion's collab part for Frisk, and I'll pull the thumbnail up for this. I watched this video, and I remember so vividly having the thought of, I wonder if I could do this. That one thought of, what if I could take FNAF and do it myself, has changed my life forever. Forever. Because following that thought, I installed Source Filmmaker, this archaic, goofy, historical relic belongs in a museum because it's barely functional. It's like a Dark Ages. I'm not gonna ramble about Source Filmmaker this whole time. I installed this software after being motivated by the thought of, could I do FNAF myself? I decided to start animating and found out I couldn't. Animation was hard, man. Bro, what are keyframes? What are linear interpolation? What is gobo lights? What is happening? Drove me crazy. But at the same time, I was hooked. I was motivated. From there, I found friends who were also FNAF animators. I started meeting more and more people, getting into more collabs, slowly but surely learning what a linear interpolation is and what gobo lights are. I slowly but surely started climbing and improving every single day. And because of this, I got back into the FNAF community. Hard and proper. I met so many incredible people who I still talk to this day. I made so many really fun animations that are now on my portfolios, and all of it spawned from the idea of, what if I could do FNAF myself? The existence of my career, the existence of my place in this community, my mental health, my place in the world, and my aspirations are all because of FNAF. Because FNAF has done something that I think is truly incredible. The scope of FNAF's influences go beyond being a video game. You see it in the community. I think of Five Nights at Freddy's as a medium rather than an IP. FNAF is a way for early creators to understand their craft. It's been used as that time and time again. The simplistic puppet-esque movements of characters, the simple cartoony designs. It's the perfect layout for aspiring artists to join a community and to constantly improve. And that's what I think is so incredible about Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's is not just a video game made by a struggling game dev back in 2014 that now has a fan base. No, the scale in which FNAF has impacted the internet goes so far beyond being a video game. The impact that it has had on so many different parts of the internet is fascinating and incredible to behold. And after sticking around for 4.5 years myself, I gotta say, I could not be more prouder to be in this community. It's because of FNAF that I have the opportunity to do something that I love for a career. I had no career aspirations when I started the lockdown. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life, and I really didn't care, but the fact that I was given the opportunity to try something new, to join a community, to find a group of peers because of this franchise is amazing. Now, what do I want you to take away from all this? I've kind of just talked about my experience with FNAF and the scope that it's had on the internet. What should you take away from this? In my opinion, the world's best ideas start with the thought of, what if I could do this myself? Not everyone pursues that idea. Not everyone sees the Spooky Bear game and goes, man, I could do something like that myself. But I'm actually going to do the work to do it. Not everyone does that, and that's okay. Not every idea is going to come to fruition, but don't dismiss a fandom or an idea or a concept outright. Give yourself a chance to explore different creative outlets. If nothing else, then just for fun. I didn't go into FNAF intending to make a living, intending to make a career. No. I went into this just to try. That's all I want you to take away from this. Just try. Thank you, Scott, and thank you, FNAF, for changing my life forever. I am the happiest I've ever been because of this community. I found a place in life, a place in a career, a place on YouTube, for God's sake. I cannot be more thankful for the outreach and the opportunities that this creative community has given to not just me, but so many people that I know. Happy birthday, FNAF. And here's to 10 more years.